Morning friends, happy Thursday. How the heck are you doing? Is this woman unstoppable? Probably a ridiculous question to ask because we know whatever Meghan talks about, touches, is involved in, goes off the scale in terms of success. Back in the movie game, hats off to her. Her list of achievements now is absolutely huge. I would hate to be responsible for reformatting her CV. I think it's great. She's getting back to what she originally trained in and what she loves. Can't wait to see it. And no doubt, 107 languages across the planet, it will be a sellout. In contrast to the non-working taxpayer-funded royal family, William's at his earthship stuff in Brazil. He cannot get press coverage for love or money. Even his own father took him away from the headlines. He was never in the headlines. Prevented him from getting any decent press by knighting David Beckham. Nobody wants William in the headlines of the news, mainly the journalists. He's not getting the pull, he's not getting the draw. None of the non-working family have ever achieved anything apart from theft on a grand scale.
Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to Glamour and Grit. Kindly subscribe to our channel to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. When Meghan's return to acting was reported, her cameo in an upcoming film, playing herself in a piece alongside known actors, the headlines lit up. The coverage wasn't just about the move itself, but about what it meant. For years, she left her role on the TV series Suits, embraced royal duties, then exited. And now the press treats every tiny step as fodder for narrative. What Meghan is doing, why Meghan is doing it, how Meghan is undermining royal tradition. One article described her move as a step down from what the royals expect. Others mocked the idea even of her returning to acting as if it were beneath the dignity of royalty or simply a vanity. Why the hostility? There are lots of reasons, but one main one: Meghan represents autonomy. And the press isn't used to that. The British tabloids historically thrive off royals who submit to the image, who play the game, say yes, bow, nod, follow the script. Meghan never signed up for that script. She had her own trajectory before royal life, and now she's moving back toward it. The press sees that as a threat or as unscripted behaviour. It unsettles their comfortable narrative of royals in waiting or royals depending on privilege. Instead, they see Meghan, and through her, the idea that you don't need a title or taxpayer money to define yourself. When Meghan wrote 2025 in the sand, they didn't clock what you meant, and I think they are just now beginning to understand. This is beautiful language and speaks exactly to the arc of this story. The press maybe didn't understand the significance at the moment, but now they are waking up. The mark was made, quietly, and only now is their machinery catching up. In the end, let us celebrate Meghan for being fiercely independent, undeniably hardworking, unapologetically herself. When Meghan Markle announced her return to acting, the British press did exactly what everyone expected. They lost their collective composure. Overnight, headlines exploded across tabloids and broadsheets, and suddenly Meghan was once again on every front page, every news alert, every TV segment. The same press that once claimed to be done with her couldn't look away. It's the clearest proof yet that Meghan remains their biggest story, the woman they love to hate, yet can't live without. The obsession has always said more about them than it ever did about her. They were never going to cope with Meghan, a woman who had her own life, her own career, her own money, and most of all, her own voice. She wasn't born to bow, beg, or wait for permission, nor was she ever dependent on a title or taxpayers' money. She was already complete before she ever married into the royal family. That independence, that drive, that refusal to play the obedient supporting role, it's what made her irresistible to the press, and intolerable to those who depend on the old hierarchy for relevance. And now, as she steps back into Hollywood, that same independence is paying off, literally and symbolically. Meghan's so-called Midas touch continues to work its quiet magic. Every project she touches, every small public appearance she makes, becomes news. The woman who was told her career was over the day she married a prince has just rewritten the story. She's back, thriving, and doing it on her terms. While critics sneer from the sidelines, Meghan's brand continues to expand, from entertainment to philanthropy to global influence, and the media simply can't resist covering every second of it. Meanwhile, back in the UK, the contrast couldn't be sharper. Prince William, the man once positioned as the modernising future king, can't seem to generate genuine buzz no matter how hard the palace PR machine spins. His public outings get polite mentions, his speeches barely trend, and even his star-studded environmental awards struggle to capture front-page attention. It's not that he's doing nothing, it's that the world's gaze has shifted. The monarchy, once the centre of British celebrity culture, now looks increasingly stale next to Meghan's global glow. You can almost sense the frustration in the palace briefings that try to paint William as the steady statesman, while the tabloids, unprompted, plaster Meghan across their covers yet again. The British press built its empire on royal coverage, but Meghan is the one who keeps the lights on. Their so-called disdain for her is nothing but a profitable addiction. This is the delicious irony of it all. The same institutions that worked overtime to drive her away now depend on her for relevance. Their mistreatment of Meghan has become their own trap. Every time they attempt to diminish her, she rises higher, her influence growing, her narrative deepening, her success unfolding layer by layer. The Hollywood ending they mocked her for chasing is now the reality they're forced to report on. The more they criticise, the more the public sees the hypocrisy. And through it all, Meghan moves gracefully forward. She doesn't need to shout or posture. She lets her work speak for itself. Whether it's new creative ventures, advocacy work, or that subtle 2025 in the sand moment that fans instantly recognised as a message of quiet confidence, she's been manifesting this new chapter all along. They just didn't understand the symbolism until now, because this, truly, is the full circle moment. The British press tried to break her, but in doing so they built her into something even stronger. Their relentless attention became proof of her power, and as they continue to chase her shadow across their front pages, even snubbing their own future king in the process, it's clear who really captivates the world's imagination. So yes, the Midas touch continues for Meghan. Everything she turns her hand to shines, not because of luck, but because of authenticity and hard work. She was never dependent on a crown to make her valuable. She was never waiting to be chosen. She chose herself, and that, more than anything, is why she continues to win. Huge congratulations, Handpad Meghan Sussex. You deserve it all. You were always the story they couldn't stop telling, the headline they couldn't stop writing, and the woman they could never diminish, no matter how hard they tried.